Alright, what up everybody, it's Masa, and Happy New Year, I think, by the time this video comes out. Today, I wanted to kind of get some answers for a question that I always get asked by a bunch of Japanese people here, which is, essentially just, why are you here? Why am I here? Why am I not in America, where I'm from? And it's a good question, been thinking about it, and yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. First, wanted to help out Lina with her video, but we'll get to that in a bit. All right.
Professionally and personally. Okay.
You see how much space there is on this bridge?
Okay.
I could go.
It's like
I
it's
know.
like a 20-meter wide. It's 20-meter wide.
Look,
What the heck?
look, look how much space there is.
What the
And the lady
heck?
decides to go right. Okay.
Dude.
All right. I see how it is. This is like slightly more difficult than I thought though, because like there's this golf course range thing here, and it makes noise. There's birds chirping. There's people walking over in front of us. It's a terrible scenario, but I think it looks pretty good so far. What do you think, Lina?
I think it looks good. Just nose intervention.
What?
On the
What?
camera.
What are you doing? What are you? Are you okay?
It's
What are you-
freaking cold. It's freaking cold out here. It's awful.
Okay, so, but to kind of get back into this context of this thing, we're done filming. I think it looks good. Audio is probably good. You did a great job.
Did I?
You
I'm
look
not sure.
perfect. You sounded good.
Okay.
But, and so now, I really need to pee. It's like sitting down was actually really bad, because now I feel like there's like a bubble.
And there's all this water, you know.
You're not helping. Okay, so back to the question. Well, do I want to stay in Japan? Do I want to stay in Tokyo? Oh yeah, I like living in Tokyo. It kind of sucks at some points, but it's all right. And then we have Lina here, that I thought we would help provide some answers for people that are asking about now what life is like in Tokyo.
So I will try to help you as much as I can. I'm half French, half Chilean, and I grew up in Paris, as you can tell from my accent. I have been in Japan for 2 years already, but before that I was here for 1 year, 9 years ago.
She's been in Japan long. She's more Japanese than I am. Let's put that into.
My
I've only been here
Japanese
for like a
is
year.
very bad, so
No, it's very good. She's very good at communicating in a bunch of languages. I can only communicate in whatever language that I can't even
Thanks,
communicate in English. I've been living in Tokyo for like a little bit now, but you've been living here longer. So what's it
So-
actually like living in Tokyo?
What is it like? What is it like? I mean, okay, there are many things that I think are quite amazing about Tokyo. Things like food, right? The food is amazing, and the quality of the food is amazing. Like I guess maybe in France you can go to the supermarket, buy something, and then when you go home and try to eat it, you realize, oh, that's actually kind of shitty, but that would never happen here. And the food is safe, so it's variety of food, quality of food, and also just the safety, right? You can lick the toilet as far as I'm concerned, and you probably won't get sick, although that's a pretty bad idea, so don't do that.
Okay. Please don't
So
lick the
food-
toilet. But yeah, but no, food-wise though.
Food is amazing.
It's
though.
so it's really incredible how good something that costs like 100 yen, which is like $1 in the States.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just,
anything.
why is it so cheap, but why is it so good?
Like the smallest little thingy in the combini that you can buy at 3 a.m. if you want is going to be delicious.
Do you think that housing is like limited here? Is it very different from the places that you lived?
I guess the thing about Tokyo though is that Tokyo is not actually a city, right? When you talk of Paris, you have like Paris, you know, the city center, and then you go into the suburbs. So what we call Tokyo is a prefecture. So actually you have many city centers within Tokyo. So that means in between two, you know, major city centers, you have between, I don't know, Shibuya and Shinjuku, you can find those tiny, you know, kind of residential areas with houses, super quiet, and then you just walk and maybe 5 blocks away you have a major avenue. So in terms of the housing market, I mean, price is one thing. You have to be, there's a compromise between, you know, distance to one of those big centers and price, and yeah, there you have to make a choice in terms of the lifestyle you want. But actually it's not that bad. Like, I don't think it's that bad.
But what makes it even easier is like transportation is like super good here, right?
Exactly.
The trains are really good.
But not at night though, because the trains stop at like 12:31.
How do you like buses?
Buses, I love buses.
You like the buses? Why do you like the buses? Nobody likes the buses in Japan.
Really?
No, nobody likes the buses.
But the thing is, now that I've moved in, which is pretty central, you have some, like, there's a bus that goes directly to Tokyo Tower and then Tokyo Station. So that's pretty much taking a, you know, a tourist bus. It goes to all those amazing places, and I know it's chill. I like the bus. I think I can do my meditation when I'm on the bus. It's convenience, right? I mean, you have companies open 24 hours, and the transportation system is super convenient. Convenience and safety, right?
That is true. Yeah. No, Tokyo, it's like super safe. Like
my friend left his computer on a train, and actually someone took it to the, you know, wasuremono, to the lost and found counter. So it's safe in terms of theft. There's very little theft, but it's also safe in terms of just like violence, right? But I will say safety and peacefulness also, kind of the attitude of people makes the atmosphere of the city very kind of peaceful and quiet. Like if you go to Shibuya Crossing, right, like there are so many people there, it looks like a scene from The Lord of the Rings. Those two armies are about to run into each other, but actually it works incredibly smoothly.
Right, people don't run into each other.
Because people leave way, right?
Yeah.
And it's so quiet and smooth. Whereas, for example, in Paris, where I'm from, people are very kind of nervous all the time, a bit more aggressive. So if you have two people kind of running in the same direction, it's going to be a fight for, you know, who wins, right? Who gets to keep their course. But here it's the opposite, and it just makes kind of, even though you have in big crowds in the city, the crowd is kind of peaceful at the same time. And I think that makes just kind of your environment much less stressful. I mean, of course there's stress, it's a big city, but it's very agreeable.
I hate crowds though, and I think that's like my least favorite part of living here. It's just like Shinjuku, Shibuya, Ikebukuro, it's so crowded.
Crazy. Shinjuku
It's so crowded. It's so bad. And like for me, sometimes it's just like, I just get out of my way. I just want to go places. I don't want to have to worry about it. And like New York City, people walk super fast.
Paris is the same. People are so slow here. I don't know why.
Yeah, people are super slow here.
Just walk faster.
Look at this lady. Look how slow she's walking. Don't you have places to go? Would you say that Japan is expensive?
Depends for what, right?
Vegetables are expensive.
Vegetables are incredibly expensive. Eating out can be really cheap.
To eat out, so I eat lunch like out every day. I don't really cook for lunch, but dinner I usually
Someone
cook.
is having good lifestyle.
Well, no, and so for me, like, my girlfriend and I were talking about, like, she can live off of, like, 200 yen a day for just lunch, right? But for me, I think I usually spend, like, somewhere from 500 to, like, 1,000 yen per meal every day at lunch. But I guess it really depends on who you are. It's very easy to eat on a budget here, though, which is, there's a meal for every budget.
Like, especially if you live alone, it might be cheaper to eat outside than cook your own food. My least favorite thing about Tokyo is a different one. For me, it's kind of the lack of spontaneity. between people. Like things like if you go to a shop, right? You go to a shop and you want to just start a conversation with maybe the person who's serving you or make a joke, right? It's very unlikely that people. Okay, also my Japanese is pretty bad, so that's an explanation. But it's just there's less kind of spontaneous interaction between people, especially as far as kind of making jokes is concerned.
If you go into a supermarket and you just try to make casual conversation, like if you did that in the States,
People don't do that.
yeah, they would be more than happy to talk to you. You do that here, they look at you like, what are you, why are you talking to me? Let me just bag your goddamn groceries. But I don't know what it is. Some people are
Yeah,
okay.
of course, not everyone, right?
Yeah.
There are all types of people everywhere. But I say, in general, like those spontaneous kind of interactions are a bit rare.
Yeah, that is something that as like someone that likes that kind of conversation, I do wish there was more of that here.
And also because usually to meet someone new, you usually need to be introduced, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. You go from one circle to another and through an introduction. And it's like when I was doing my exchange student here, you know, I arrived and the first thing I thought about was, okay, what sakuru, what club can I join? So I just went to, you know, there was a building on campus where all the clubs had their rooms and stuff. So I just went there, I was knocking on doors like, hi, I'm Lina, what's up, what do you do? And people were looking at me like, what does this crazy lady want,
Yeah.
right? Because actually it's not the way it's done. The way it's done is there is one day at the beginning of the semester which is like open door for clubs, and then you need to register and to the clubs you're interested in, and they'll take all these people to do some activity where you have to introduce yourself, and then there's a process, right? There's a very defined process and you have to go through every step. But just going there and be like, hey, what's up, what are you doing, like it's just that was kind of my first cultural shock, I think, when I arrived.
Is there anything else that you like or dislike about living in
I'll
Tokyo?
tell you what I really, really like here.
Okay, what
the
do you like?
police, public services in general. Things like people will really try to help you. Like last year when I was registered as a kojin jigyo, right? Like unipersonal business. I don't know how to say that in English, but anyways, so I had to file my taxes. So I went to the tax office, and of course it was a bit hard for me to understand the Japanese form. So the guy, he spent literally I think 1-2 hours not only filling the form for me, but he was telling me like, oh, what about your transportation costs? I was like, yeah, but he didn't keep the receipt, right? No, it's fine. He studied, like, he took his calculator, studying, you know, filling as many expenses as he could, and then finding this and that. So not only did he take 2 hours of his time to help me fill the form that was in Japanese that I couldn't understand, but he made sure that I paid as little taxes as possible. And I mean, I just don't think you would expect that. I mean, you would not expect that kind of service in France, I think. So I think public services, and then the police here, you know, they still have kind of I don't know what it's called in Japanese, in English, but like neighborhood police. So you find them like every 5 blocks, every 10 blocks, you have like the little koban, the little police thing. So they are always there, and they are nice. Like if you lose your way, you can go and ask the police, I'm lost, can you help me? If you have problems with how to sort your garbage, you can ask the police. Once I asked them to take a picture of me and my friend, they did it. Because I
Really?
think they were a bit bored. So the point is, there's kind of a friendly relationship. It's not seen as a repressive arm of the state, right?
No,
The
that's
police
that's
is
really
actually here to help you as a citizen. If you have a trouble, if something happens, they are always nearby, so you can always ask for help. And I just really like that they don't have this kind of
They don't look threatening.
exactly.
Yeah.
The police is not threatening here.
It-
They're
it-
here to help you.
It's not like the police in the States are threatening, but they just look scary. Like they're not as intimidating. They're not as intimidating in Japan. They're easy to talk to. That being said, I don't really like the police here because they tell me I can't ride my skateboard and things like
Yes,
that.
oh, yeah.
But
I guess it's a
don't
bit
know.
of an overstatement if I say I like the police, not so much I like the police, but I do think that public services here are just very friendly.
I think living in Tokyo it's pretty convenient. It's nice if you really like city, but you don't really like the super hustle and bustle. It's not great if you like nature though. There's not too much nature. There's like a lot of man-made nature, if that makes sense. But there's not real like big landscapes and whatnot that are like really easy to get to. But otherwise, it's okay. I like living here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But thank you, Lina, for
You're
helping.
welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for just kind of watching, and just a wonderful 2018. 2019 should be a ton of fun. Lina gave me a lot of good ideas, kind of to figure out where I might go with this channel. Yeah, it should be interesting. We've got a couple different ideas for 2019. We'll see how we go and where we get to. So we'll just keep doing the things. But again, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Peace.